Temple Grandin, wow. I'm trying to think if I was in high school. I remember the very first time I ever heard her name or saw it. It was an article in Farm Journal magazine. And I read that article, and I mean, it just resonated, because up until that time, our head gate sorting cows was a horrible thing. Whenever we knew we had to work cows or do something with the head gate, it was, oh no, you couldn't get them in there, and we had to pull on a rope and tie it off a thing. I mean, it was a nightmare. And so that article from her had basically 3 principles. One, when they go in, they want to turn to the right. Number 2, they want to feel like they're going out where they came in. And number 3, they want to go toward light, but not direct light, and they don't want to go into shadows. So I went out. I mean, I was young. I went out to the barn and I ripped out everything, ripped out the posts, ripped out the boards, took it all off, and completely refabricated our little, kind of working chute area with those 3 things in mind. They want to go to the right, they want to go out where they came in, and they want to go toward light, but not direct light and not into shade. And revamped it with those principles, and it's been there now for 50 years. We've worked thousands of animals through there, and it's a dream. It's unbelievable. So yes, she has influenced us tremendously. Oh, absolutely. So how this all pastured livestock and stuff, it all, compost. Oh, it all sounds warm and fuzzy and it makes earthworms happy, but can it really feed the world? That's the most common question I get all over the world. That's the most common. Can it feed the world? And the second one is, even if it could, can we afford it? Those are the 2. It's the volume and the money. So this is about volume. So the thing you got to remember is this. 500 years ago, North America produced more food than it does today. That's enough. 500 years ago, North America produced more food than it does today. Now, it wasn't all eaten by people. There were 100 million bison. There were 2 million wolves that needed 20 pounds of meat a day. That's 40 million pounds just to feed the wolves. There were, passenger pigeons, flocks big enough to block out the sun for 3 days. There were 200 million beavers that ate more vegetables than all the people in North America today. They didn't eat potatoes, but they ate biomass. They're herbivores. So the notion that we need chemicals and we need herbicides and we need pesticides and GMOs and all these things in order to produce food is simply empirically and historically untrue, because we actually produced more abundance 500 years. We didn't. The Native Americans, the beavers, the bison, the wolves, the choreography of the meadows, carefully planned fires, migratory patterns, all of that stuff synergized symbiotically to produce more food than we do today. So yes, not only can this feed the world, it's actually the only way that can.